Hello friends, Jason here from the Chart Guys. Another episode of Trade by Example. Today we're going to take a look at using broadening formations on the SPY ETF. So let's get started. All right, the first trade that I want to show you guys and walk through is an interesting concept. It involves broadening formations, lines that extend out into infinity that we can utilize for support and resistance in a non-traditional sort of sense. We're all familiar with horizontal areas of support and resistance. We can go ahead and look at one of those here. Let's go plug a resistance point up here at 407.20. We hit 407.24, pull back, nice horizontal resistance. But I'm going to show you why that's not actually a horizontal resistance. It's actually a broadening formation resistance. And not only is that broadening formation resistance going to show you where you're going to pull back from, it's also going to show you where you're going to find support after breaking a low of day. Pretty cool, huh? All right, let's get started on that. First of all, we need to recognize what an outside bar is. An outside bar is when we have a high of a candlestick that is higher than the previous candlestick, and if we're lucky, it's also going to be higher than many of the previous candlesticks before it. The low is also going to do the same thing to the downside. It's going to be lower than the previous candlestick's low, hopefully its neighbor, and if we're lucky, several candlesticks back. Because that is going to show us with confidence where we should place an origin and an anchor for our broadening formation. I'm going to go back and pick the top of this candlestick because what it does is it shows us where this formation is going to be, and then it extends out into the universe. We're going to do the same thing on the support. We're going to pick our origin, and our anchor is going to be the last candlestick of which the low has been knocked out, throat punched, it's gone. Now, the interesting part of these broadening formations is that anyone who has placed stop losses on any of these lows in this one period gets knocked out, stopped out, whatever you want to call it, and we see the price push down, and we get a short-term exhaustion to one side, and we do the same thing to the upside. All of these stops get the shorts get covered. We push quickly to the upside, and we have this expanding range that throat punches and knocks out support and resistance in both directions. We have a clean slate to work from, and that's when things get really, really interesting. So this is SPY, April 6th. We have our first hour inside bar, and we're going to switch to a live replay feature because I want to show you guys what it looks like in real time. So let's go ahead and work on that. So we are one bar back. We're going to actually get our bar. There it is. See how we knocked out the support? It was really quick. Hopefully you caught it. But we knocked out the support and bulls pushed right back here. So this is what our chart looked like at that time. We had just established our area of resistance with an hourly outside bar. And now we are looking for our buddies at SPY to either set a 5-minute higher low and continue to the upside or break their 5-minute support. And we're going to watch this price action as it develops over the course of the day. I'm going to jump around a little bit here. Now at this point of the morning, we have seen our high of 407.20. We've actually lost our 5-minute higher lows, but we're not seeing any sort of follow through here at all. And using the internals, we know this is sort of a balanced day for us. And not even using the internals, we know that we have a pretty desperate need to consolidate. So sideways day is not out of the question. The fact that we have broken a support level without any follow through is a little bit, well, not unexpected, but it's not something that we expect to see on a strong day. So back to that concept of balance. Now we know we have broadening formation resistance. We just drew that in on our hourly time frame. So here is our broadening formation resistance to the upside, broadening formation resistance to the downside. Now, as we walk through the morning here, we hit another lower low without any follow through, and we start to get a complete reversal. Often when you're trading and you start to get these fake outs, as we come to call them, usually it's not for any other reason other than you are in a balanced day where these fake outs are not only expected, but they're welcomed. We know that we are going to see a lack of commitment and a lack of direction, and we can respond to that using our broadening formation as a resistance in this case. So what we're going to do is keep watching this, and we actually get to see an interesting pattern form up. We're going to keep watching this closely, and we start to notice one thing. We see that we are getting higher lows, and we are getting higher highs without much follow through. So when you see this formation coming into play, I am a visual trader. I like to trade almost completely with trend lines. I use them as a means to box in the action that I see, apply a template to it. And if I'm correct and I I'm able to apply my pattern theory. It tends to work out really, really well for me. I just like drawing, and I think it's a beautiful way to recognize when you have a particular situation. Let's try and get this drawn in with the right colors. And what becomes apparent to us is that we are getting our higher highs without follow through. We're getting now higher lows, and we're getting a contained range. So we start to develop this nice little ascending triangle on our 2-minute time frame. Overall, we are hanging out in here just fine, aren't we? So we start to recognize two things. One, we have a 2-minute ascending wedge. This is a reversal pattern itself. We are close to our high a day at 407.20. We have that resistance working in our favor. We have our reversal pattern working in our favor. And we got a higher high without any follow through against our broadening formation resistance. This is a perfect place for us to start to look for some pullback. There is that expanding range. We don't really expect to get too much higher than that or higher than the high of day. So the fact that we didn't get any follow through on that is actually really part and parcel for what we come to expect. Now, at this point in the day, I was starting to scout for a short position. Why was I starting to scout for a short position? Because of a combination of those factors. Knowing that we just broke the higher highs without any follow through, we have 1, 2, 3 areas for us and reasons for us to be looking for short positions against a known area, a broadening formation resistance. So we take our short position and we watch that unfold for us, and it actually works out pretty well. In fact, a little bit too well. We know that we have our beautiful range set up, and let's look at what happens over the course of the day. So we see our great pullback, our breakdown, and our expected drop from our 2-minute ascending wedge against those key areas of resistance. We drop, we see some good follow through on the loss of 406.51, drop to the downside, get our 15-minute lower high, and we continue and we move in relative sideways fashion. Now at this point, you may be wondering where exactly are we going to see some sort of resistance. We've already proven that we can have follow through to the downside and see a V-shaped recovery. We are in the balanced day. We don't really know what to expect. But the cool part, or one of the many cool parts about these broadening formations, is that if once you establish that range and you test one range, you're likely to test the other range because we've knocked out those support and resistances in both directions. So in this case, that's exactly what happened. As the end of the day rolls in, and I was on a live stream waiting for this to happen, we come down, we get within a couple pennies of our broadening formation support that we drew earlier here. We see a perfect bounce, and then we see some strong action into after hours, bulls carrying the strength. It was a perfect target for our bears to hunt. Now, not only was that a beautiful broadening formation resistance, but it was also a good stop hunt for those looking to stop out at the low of day, 405.51, stop out, quick flush. We get a ton of volume because of those stop orders being hit. Bulls buy it up and push the price back to the upside. This is a really nice and a somewhat complicated example of a broadening formation, but these are the type of things that we like to look for in the chart, guys. And we can combine multiple areas of resistance with a reversal pattern, with the fact that we know we are in a balanced day. We see our broadening formation resistance hit, and then we see a pullback and a broadening formation support hit. It is just a perfect execution. And if you had the chutzpah to carry that short for that entire range, you are going to have a very happy day. Now, this broadening formation doesn't go away today. In fact, it lasts. So let's go ahead and remove our extended hours. Here's that formation low from the end of the day on April 6th. And when I logged in this morning, our pre-market looked a little bit weak. What happened? We came down, pushed right to that broadening formation support again, and then we saw the bulls pour on the speed all the way to 406.96, 2 opportunities against this broadening formation support. Now, these lines do extend out into infinity, as we can see if we jump to our daily time frame, but they do start to lose relevance. And in fact, you can draw new broadening formations as those develop, and one day, perhaps, yes, those levels will come back into play as new supports and new resistances. So it's quite interesting to watch. Good morning. You awake? Little pig. Hello? Hey! There we go. Come on out. Start your day. Hungry? Now the trick is feeding these guys before the loud ones wake up. Oh, there they are. Alright, it's all over now. Peace and quiet has ended. Hi. What's up, Chunks? The little one's the worst. Wait for him to start up his motor. Alright, little guys. Oh, everybody's hungry today. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. There we go. How's that? Oh, dude. It's so loud all the time. Time to go see the big ladies. Good morning, Francis. Good morning, little pig. Yeah. Oh, don't do that. Big Francis is, he's a big gal. Mm-hmm. Dudes. I'll go find little Ruby. Hello, Ruby. Hungry? Come on. That's enough of you guys.